Hello guys, what is serious now? Can you see me properly? Um, you can't see me properly guys. Okay. Alright, I have to film here. Right, I'm gonna have to do it up here. Because I have to tell you guys about the most strangest moments that, days, it's still some light. The strangest moments that did happen in my life. Now, one strange moment, I'm going to do list by list on some bits of weird moments that did happen to me. The first one was I woke up. I went downstairs to the kitchen, have some breakfast. I got dressed first, and I told my mum that I am going shopping in Tesco on my own. She said if I was confident enough, then that's okay. So I went. It was about. I didn't go early. It was about. It was 11:50 the moment I left. It was 11:50, exactly 11:50. I just checked the time. So I left shopping. I don't know how long. It's been a long walk or something like that. It's been a long walk. I went, I believe, one of the longer routes to St. Tesco's. But I did get there. I did get to Tesco's. And it did take me a while. I don't know how long it took me, but whew, I was tired at the end. When I got home, it was 12. Just 12. I'm like, how is that possible? I left at 11:50. It felt like half an hour to get there. I did the shopping for about, which felt like 5-7 minutes. Time to pay the checkout, another 3 minutes probably, 4 minutes. Left the building, went to the walk, which took me about another 2+ minutes, 5 minutes. How can it only be 11:50? And my mum was so confused, like, how did I get back so fast? She thought that I've not left yet, I've been for 10 minutes, I've forgotten something. But I just thought that I came back with all this shopping. This whole time, everybody was just really slow, like lazy walking, and I have no clue on how they came at about 10 minutes only that I've just been there for half an hour, which felt like. How is that possible? It only took me 10 minutes for that. I'm baffled. The other thing that I'm confused, guys, that happened to me is that I was in my kitchen, then I walked from the kitchen to the corridor. I put a blindfold on, and I decided to go blindfolded from my corridor. Now let me tell you guys, from my corridor up the steps, and then you turn 180 degrees forward, and then lift a little bit, and there's my brother's room over there. And I never got my room and my other rooms that just don't go in the bathroom toilet. So yeah, it was me and also my brother's room, just there. So what I did is I started at the bottom of the steps. Put the blindfold on. Then I climbed walking. I felt the steps. I held onto the rails. So this is the bizarre moment to come later. Just be patient. I climbed to the top. I reached the top of the staircase. I could still feel the barriers. I turned right. I feel the carpet. I feel the doors. I feel an empty gap. I'm assuming that's my room. I'm assuming that the door wasn't shut, so there's an empty gap there. I didn't care about that. I went forward. Still could only the empty gap was there. That's definitely must be my room. I went forward. Felt the toilet door was also shut. Felt that door. Felt the bathroom door too. And I just turned left a bit. Now I felt the carpet. I still felt the carpet on my feet. And my brother's room also felt a bit warm. But so I decided to just step foot on the floor, foot in my brother's room. But my brother's room floor was hard. Why was it hard? Why wasn't his floor, my brother's room, why is it not floor? The floor isn't carpet. It felt hard. I unfolded the blindfold and I realised I'm coming from the living room into the kitchen. And those doors are parallel to each other. Well, not in the same position actually, but they're still facing the same direction. What in the world? They're facing the same absolute direction and they are parallel together. And as I came from upstairs to the corridor, I found myself coming from the living room to the kitchen. Guys, can you tell me what makes sense, literally? I came from the living room to the kitchen. Impossible, because I went up the steps, touched the carpet, and apparently I've gone upstairs somehow from the living room to the kitchen. After coming upstairs to the corridor, I came from the living room, stepped first into the kitchen, where I thought that my brother's room would have been there, but the kitchen, and me coming from, guys, what is happening? How did this happen? I don't know how it came from the living room to the kitchen. I just don't know what happened, literally. I just don't know what happened. I will have to edit this video and add some really good tags in this, because I don't know what happened, how I came from that. Another thing that really did happen to me, guys, is that I went, and another thing was shopping. So I was preparing shopping, so I told my mum. I took my wallet with me, which is actually a Beano one with pictures, sort of. So I took my wallet, and I said I'm going to BP, which is just a petrol station down there, just to buy some milk and stuff like that. I was told to buy. Nothing else, just that. So I went there. A minute later, I had my phone with me. I get a call from my mum telling me that I left my wallet. But I told her that my wallet was with me. And I'm like, how's that possible? So she told me that she probably thought that I took a different wallet or something. But then I wasn't bothered telling her. I did not want to tell her at all, because she'll think I'm crazy or something like that. And I just don't want to freak her out with what's going on, how this is happening. I go ahead, and so I just let her go. I just say that I maybe took a different wallet, because the wallet, I said, I just took a brown wallet or something like that. She said that's okay. She said that was okay, but I did not take the brown wallet. I clearly took my Beano wallet. I didn't take. I took brown wallet just to not freak her out of how that is insanely possible. And so yeah, I did get that. Some people are coming to the store, buy the stuff. I have £5 cash in my pocket, just enough to buy for these £5. Just some stuff I bought there. I went back to the house. I put my wallet in my pocket, my grey jacket, a thick grey one. I look at my pocket, but then my wallet is gone. What? I did get the change back. My wallet is gone. And my mum clearly knows that. She clearly knows that my money is £5 in the note. I knock on the door, but I sort of through the window, I see my wallet in the kitchen, exactly where I picked it up from. It was in my pocket. So the whole time it was in my pocket. At the same time it was in my house. Walked around, it disappeared from my pocket, and now it's back there where I picked it up from. When I looked back, it was empty, because I clearly picked it up from there. But now it's back there with what happened. So I am baffled. I just don't know what really happened. Guys, I just don't know what happened, because I'm baffled. With going from the wallet to that, I open the door and see how that possible. My wallet is there. I look inside, and my change is right in that wallet. No £5 cash. It's just what I had. Bought a shop, teleported into there. My mom told me two places at once, but one place one disappeared and teleported to the and then that wallet, and then just the cash. And I don't really know what happened. I still got my shopping with me though. That was absolutely insane. Now I don't know what happened. Weirdest one was actually the steps. Some more interesting one, the fact that I came from the bottom, came upstairs to my brother's room, only to find myself coming from the living room to the kitchen, which doesn't make any sense, but it's what happened. So it was really bizarre moment. I don't really know exactly what happened. Another thing that really did happen to me that I didn't tell anyone about is that I decided to go outside to the BP, not BP, to a small path or a Londis apparently. I went up that direction. Is Londis? Is that direction? Up the top somewhere. So I went there, and as I got there, through the middle of the big path, I see a small alley path. I'm like, what is that alley path for? Now I look behind me, and I feel I have like 30. I have really, I have better vision than most of you. Believe me, guys, trust me. Yes, for sure. So for me, it's actually like, for me, it's obvious. It's obvious, and it's simple that I am walking on this alley that I would walk if I went if I decided to go to London. But then there's small alleys that which look the same as an alley back there somewhere, which just goes like turning and up and then the top to get to the big path to London. So I decided to walk around it, but then I feel a force telling me, like, I feel somehow that I must walk around it and I must walk through it. And the gates were high, but I also felt like I shouldn't look over the gates. I felt that, and there was no cracks through the gate fence. It was this high fence, really. It was a fence, not a gate. It was a fence, and I shouldn't look through the cracks of them, nor should I really touch them. And I thought I was allowed to touch them, feel them, but not really trying to find a way exactly to put my positioning on me. I did look back, and yes, the burn was still there. I went up. I went up. I looked down the big path, entered the small path. As I entered the small path, I went a bit more. I turned left, and I found myself at the start of the path, back there where that smaller alley was. I'm like, I quickly looked back, and then I realised that the alley that I just came from is now into the road. And that is what is behind that. And that road is literally behind that small path. So it's sort of like a portal. It's sort of similar to how I went through the path, look behind me, and I see the big path. I see the big path, walk forward, turn left, and see I'm at the start of the big path now. The path, not the. At the start of it, I look back to realize that the big path I went through to get into that is now turned into the road. And I look up, and I didn't tell about this, so I looked up, and I found the fact that very miles ahead that this is now gone, and there's no more weird path, portals that led me back, or that somehow led me through a black hole and teleported me to exactly that moment and unable to take me exactly from there too. Now, of course, it would make difference because it's the same path. So it was something like, so there was the path, and there also was the path, which didn't make sense. And then I just didn't know what really happened, and I didn't see anyone walking around this path or anything like that. You're wondering what happened if the fence broke at that moment. What happened if you had to throw a bow in there and just look around? Would the ball just disappear on the other side of the path like a portal? I don't really know what would have happened. But guys, please leave a comment. Do not ignore. Don't ignore me, please. Leave comments. Don't play it up to me like that. Don't ignore. When I comment something, just please reply something about that, because yes, I haven't telling you stuff. It was just entertainment, so hope you did entertain you. Something like that really was that really did happen to me. If that really did entertain you, please guys leave me a thumbs up. I also made a really stupid video. I did not want to set that upload, but it was really lame. Now I think about that, I couldn't upload it, but I'm glad I couldn't. It was about me. I made a couple of days ago. It was on Friday. It was about me being stuck on the floor and every time I tried to push myself up, the force in my body is in my head, so my head will go dizzy, and I'm stuck and I cannot lift myself up. It was something like that. It was like that, exactly like that. So it was a really weird video, really stupid video I made. And I was thinking at that time, but I did make that, but it's not uploaded, so you cannot see it. This video will be uploaded, so yes. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Remember, tags will be updated too, so look out for that, please.